Happy hump day to you. This is the John McEntyre Show, John McEntyre Money Show live. I'm John McEntyre, and today is hump day. Today is Wednesday, um, February the 5th, 2025. It is hump day. Yes, it is hump day. It is hump day. Yeah, it's one of those. Um, it's hot outside. Poxitani Phil, the groundhog up in Pennsylvania, predicted 6 more weeks of winter, right? It's been above average temperatures here. It's getting like air conditioner, like I had to turn the air conditioner on. So I like all of the seasons of North Carolina. Don't get me wrong. Every one of them I have, it's something I like about each season. But I like them to be like gradual. We're in wintertime. Go ease into, spring. Go into spring. I like the springtime. I really like it. Then go into summer. I don't want another one of those years like last year. It went from freezing to hot. And everyone was like, so where was spring? We didn't even have a spring. So and this has got me all, I need to talk to Phil about this. But we have a good show. Let's get to it. We're continuing our series on achieving financial success for 2025. And, I've talked about, creating um, the net worth statement, your budget, insurance. Yesterday, I talked about real estate. And today is a real good one. A lot of people don't think of. They think of it, but they're not like have that focused intention about it. They're not really intentional about it to understand it. But before I go there, if you're watching by YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching by Facebook, share it. Let people know that we're on today, and share those wallet wins I'm receiving. We're talking to clients on a day-to-day basis. Wallet wins are happening, like crazy. The opening the savings accounts, rolling over, the 401ks over the IRAs, which is a very sensitive situation. Um, as a matter of fact, finding old retirement accounts, making that down payment, finally found the house that they really want to buy. That we have one that's, found that home. A couple of others whose homes have went on, haven't been on, went on the market right around Christmas, and they're already under contract because in some areas, um, inventory is sort of low, so it's actually a seller's market, and so sellers, putting the house on the market right now. It is a good time to sell. It's always usually a good time to sell this time of the year. I'm going to do the show next week about selling the property and why this is such a good time. Um, but yeah, we have those wallet wins like crazy. People open, the children's savings account. They're starting that college fund. They've saved their, 3 months of living expenses for their, emergency fund. They have a sinking fund now. And so all of those things, it's all working very well. And I appreciate those wallet wins. I'm going to get to sharing more of them more specifically here. Um, but we're going to get into the topic. And if you have a wallet win you do want to share, let me know. Put hashtag wallet win in the comments, whichever one you're watching by, whatever platform, put it in the comments, hashtag wallet win, share it. We'll celebrate it with you. If you have a question, put the uppercase Q or capital Q, whatever way you say it, put it in there. I see it. I will make sure to answer the question because I welcome your interaction. I welcome the questions and comments and wallet wins and everything. So let's get into this. Today's topic, like I said, talked about all the areas of, achieving financial success in the series. Well, what most people don't think about, your number one financial success or wealth building tool is your income. And one of the rules is one of the common sense. If you're talking to anyone that deals with personal finance, they say one of the keys to personal finance is living within your means. It's it's pretty much impossible to build wealth, long-term sustainable, um, large amounts of wealth, um, if you're not living within your means. Well, I put also with that one, live within your means while increasing your means, and basically saying, excuse me, working to increase your income, because your income is your number one wealth building tool. It is the tool of wealth building, because income, that's how you get your money. And so however you receive your money, that's the tool. It's like, uh, I want to nail a hammer into a board, nail a hammer, put a nail in a board. I'm connecting two boards. Well, my hammer is the tool. So I could not get it done without something to actually use as a hammer. Same thing with wealth building. If you don't have income, it's hard to, it's impossible to build wealth because you don't have money. And most people say, well, it's ideas that's the wealth building tool and all this. And I don't disagree with that, but it's ideas that generate the money to actually build wealth. So I put it that way. So you want to increase your work on increasing your income. Um, a lot of times I'm working with clients, we're coaching them, and they're serious about, achieving financial success, building wealth, getting their money on target. Sometimes they just don't earn enough money to achieve their dream goals and dreams. They just don't earn enough money. And so that's why it's very important to make sure that you're increasing your income, because, if you have all these things you want to do, you want to take care of your family, buy a home, um, send the kids to college, save for retirement. You have to have enough income to do these types of things. And sometimes, um, more often than I care to mention, I know a lot of people are not earning enough money to achieve their goals, and so we have to figure out ways to increase that income. Another thing, and because you want to increase your income to the point to where, some people, they say, well, I get a raise every year or whatever, but a lot of times their raise is not pacing ahead of inflation. So it really like stagnant, or it might be so, minimal. And the cost of living is increasing 3%, 5%. They're receiving raises, which, and sometimes they're not even annual, and they're like, 3, 5%. Well, if that's only every few years or so, you're constantly behind with your income. And so if you're wanting, most of the time, well, you think about it like this: you want your investments to increase, you want, you have to increase your insurance and things like that, because everything is growing. You have to be more intentional with increasing your income one way or another. um, my favorite way of increasing income is, through a business, even if it's a side hustle, even if you have, you have your employment. The best thing is a side hustle, some type of business, because of all of the benefits that you receive. Second one is just, is the extra job. The extra job, making sure you have, that will supplement the income. Usually part-time, something like that would actually, do it. I actually had a client who pretty much did all three. He had a full-time job, and I'll save the story. I'll take care of this first. Um, but increasing the income, you know, to increase it, you have to. Well, let me put it like this: most people, the happiest people, the wealthiest people, the most successful people financially, they love what they do, their work. They love the work that they do. It's not their vocation; is actually their vacation. I've heard it put that way. And so they love what they do because they're geared for it. some people I've heard it say they're bent in that direction, which means they have the aptitude for what they do. It fits their personality, their aptitudes, their giftedness, and so they're happy. And the reason, and they become successful because they're in something that they love to do, which means they like to do it. They like to get better at it. They're more focused. Their intensity in it is much higher, which causes, what is called that loop of increase, the cycle of increase, where you love what you do, you get better at it, causes more income, which means you get better. It motivates you to get better and keep getting better in your income. It's called learning to earn, and which means they increase their skills. The aptitude is more amplified. It gets bigger and bigger, and so they're creating just more income just happening out there, and they're more creative. They innovate. People that love what they do, they innovate, and so that causes an increase in income. And so people ask, how would you increase your income? That's part of it. That's a major part of it. Finding a work that you love um, is the best way. It may be the form of, in the form of a job, or it may be the business. After having my aptitude, I mentioned the word aptitude. I had my aptitude tested. It was right when Andrea announced that she was pregnant. I had just had my aptitude tested, so that was right before Bella. So that was pretty much 16 years ago. Went to Atlanta. One of my mentors asked me, had I ever had my aptitude tested? So I went to have it tested, and I was in this pretty much like a laboratory. They watched me do everything. They even told me which eye I used most. Like, they was like, okay, you're right-handed, but you're also left right eye. Your eye, you favor your right eye more. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And they did all of these tests. I mean, they tested everything, memory type stuff, art type stuff, my hand dexterity and all of this type of stuff. And they basically told me, had I been 16 years old, if I'd have had my aptitude tested as a teenager, they would have recommended me become a surgeon, because it was two of the top aptitudes of a surgeon, of world-class surgeons. I had both of them at a very high level. But they said that it plus my drive and ambition, my energy level, pretty much was, I had that type of mentality where anything I tried, I was going to succeed at it, because of just my attitude about things that I want. I like winning. I love winning. So they was like, I was heavily into real estate sales at the time, and they was like, this probably would have been the least career we would have recommended for you, but because of your personality and your drive and the quick thinking and things like that, you made it work. And it's because I had been in it for a while. I really liked it. And so I got creative with it. I did it my way. At that time, I had been asked to host a real estate television show. So my marketing was much different. This was before YouTube and all this, and before everyone was all over, on video everywhere, where, you could just crank up a camera and be on it. You actually had to use, television. And so I was on television. That was my way of marketing. I built my network that way and everything. So they was like, you built it your way. And they said that was your aptitude doing that. It was your aptitude. It wasn't your love of real estate. It was your aptitude at work and your mindset. And so that's why you have to find out what it is you love to do, get good at it, work hard at it, work smart at it. And as you grow, your income will increase. And that's why I favor side businesses, or businesses, as ways of generating the extra income, to increase the income. The second reason is it diversifies. It's the way that you diversifying your income streams. That's another way of diversifying your income stream. Most people think that it's like investing, the way you invest. Maybe you invest in the stock market, you invest in real estate, you invest in things like that. But it's also diversifying your ways of earning money, other ways that you physically can earn money. So if you do have a job that you love, you can start a side business that could be an extension, or it could be the use of another talent or skill that you have. Because sometimes if you're working at a job, you may not be able to, say for instance, consult in that same field, because that will be a conflict of interest, but you do have other skills. um, I have a lot of friends like that, like someone I was going to mention earlier. He had a corporate job. It was sort of early, and I think he was making roughly 60,000, and he wanted to increase his income. He just wanted to see what he could do to get to $100,000 a year. And so he was like, okay, I think I figured it out. He always wanted to be, he loved working out, being a personal trainer. While he was in college, he had actually completed certification. So he was a certified personal trainer. I was like, okay, how many clients would you need to add that extra 40,000 to the 60 that you're earning to hit that $100,000 a year goal? And it was like he did it in no time. I mean, it was no time. And I'm happy to say it got to the point to where it really ignited. He forgot how passionate he was about that. He said, even though I love my job, I want to set a goal of this replacing my total income. I said, okay, well, why don't you just set the goal of making 100,000 in this? And as soon as you do that, because you hit the 40 like it was nothing. I mean, it really wasn't even like you were working hard. And so he put that same mentality in. He said, okay, well, I'm just going to, every waking hour outside of work, I'm going to put into growing this business. And 12 months later, he was pretty much done. That was one example. Another example was someone that, working in their corporate job, we were brainstorming ways they could increase their income. And they just happened to be at work, and they were looking at the bulletin board, and they noticed, the question, do you know good candidates for the company? If so, let HR know, and there may be a bonus in it for you. She goes talk to HR and to the human resource department. And lo and behold, if they brought in a qualified candidate, they actually got a $5,000 bonus per qualified candidate with no cap. So she increased her income $15,000 that year, just mention it to the network of friends. And I mean, it wasn't even anything major. She just mentioned it. 3 good candidates came in. She got her $5,000 per candidate bonus. The next year, she said, I'm going to set a goal. I'm going to at least bring 1 new candidate, good candidate, into this company. And she turned it, that became like her business. And there you go. That was the extra 60,000. She increased her income. So there is ways. And these people, as they started to manage their money better, because they had other goals in place. And so the managing of the money really was like, it was just like a side effect of them working in their passion. Like most people that love what they do, that, I say it again, they love what they do. And one of their ways of keeping score is increased income, especially in business. Is revenue, things like that. Take for instance, I mentioned earlier about the show. I just wanted to see, the show was to generate business, like now is to educate, inform, guide. um, but some people, I wasn't paying attention to some of the professionals really saying that they wanted to like sponsor or advertise. How could I be part of the show more often? And so I was like, I guess, talk to someone that was in television, talk to the people around me. They was like, advertising and sponsor. So talk to one of them. They helped me put together a sponsorship package. The first one I presented it to, I landed a thousand extra dollars a month just for the show. And that more than covered production for the show. So that's just how easy it was. And so increasing your income is it shouldn't be something that stresses you out. It should be something that either you have an interest in it or you already have a passion in it, and make it either a second, a side business or a part-time job that, who knows, it could become a full-time job. We see it all the time. So increasing that income, making sure that you're staying ahead of inflation. I always say, I go by percentages. At least 5 to 10% of your monthly income, do something that would increase it by 10%, at least 10%, something like that. And that's usually like very simple. Once I talk to people about that, they were like, yes, I can do that. And they end up doing a lot more. They end up doing a lot more because then they see, the 10% increase was really nothing, especially if it was something that they really like to do. And so they were, it was all good. So I hopefully that was some good tips that I shared to get you in the mindset of this year working to increase your income by at least 10%. Set a goal this year. I'm going to increase my income at least 10%. Most of the time it ends up being, almost, some, I've seen people double, triple, quadruple their income, even more than that. you know um, it's because they're involved in something that they really like to do. So if that was helpful, let me know. Share your wallet wins, send in those questions, your comments. Share how you're earning extra money along with those other wallet wins. I like to see those, some ideas that you've put in place that increased your income for you. So that being said, I will be back tomorrow with another tip on achieving financial success in 2025. So tune in tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good day.